Hello, welcome to Maths is Not a Mystery. This is the second of our percentages video. The first video about percentages was all about basic percentages, finding out what they are, converting them between fractions, decimals, percentages and so on. This time we're going on to some useful information about how we use percentages. And we're going to base this entire video on this area, finding a percentage of an amount. It's probably the most important thing you'll need to do with percentages. I want to show you a little trick first of all, something that may help you if the numbers are friendly enough to you. Here's a question that says 40% of 50. Find 40% of 50. If I were being asked to do that question, I wouldn't do that question. What I would do instead is I would switch the numbers round and I would do 50% of 40 because I know that that's 20. Half of 40 is 20. If we just test it on this, 10% of 50 would be 5, and then if we multiply the whole lot of that by 4, 40%, it's 4 lots of 10, so 4 lots of 5 is 20. It's the same answer. It's a really useful thing to know. You can switch the percentage round. 40% of 50 is the same as 50% of 40, and it works with any numbers at all. Sometimes, obviously, the numbers aren't friendly either way round. If that was 39% of 71, it wouldn't really matter which way round it was. You'd still need a calculator. But if one of the numbers is helpful to you, like 50%, 10%, 25%, something like that, switch it round, and you can do the question in your head. Really helpful to know, can come in handy. Obviously, in some cases, like the one that we're going to look at now, it's of no help. It wouldn't matter which way round those two numbers were. We still can't do them without a calculator. So how do we do the ones that we can't do in our heads? Well, let's remember, 38% means 38 out of 100. 38 out of 100 is written like that. And what this question actually means is 38 out of 100 times 63. 38 out of every 100 times 63. Now, how do you do this? Well, 38 is a nice easy number, as all of these will be for percentages. 38 would have its decimal point there. And if we divided it by 100, that decimal point would go 1, 2, and it'd end up here, 0.38. And it's always going to be like that. We're always going to divide that top number by 100. So it's going to be 0.38, 0.27, 0.45. If that number was just a single 5 over 100, it would be 0.05. There's always going to be two numbers after the point. 0.38 times 63 is something that has to be done on a calculator, but that's going to give you the answer. Here's a calculator, and let's just pop the question onto there. 0.38 times 63 equals 23.94. And that's finished. So 23.94. So that's all we do. The percentage is out of 100. So we divide it by 100, and then we work out our answer. Now, the multiplier method is the same kind of thing. The numbers are exactly the same, but you just skip a stage. For the multiplier method, you're just basically quickly converting your percentage to a decimal, and in order to do that, you divide it by 100. So 38% is straight away 0.38 times 63, which is obviously the same answer. All we've done is we've skipped that first step. There's nothing else to it at all. Do whichever one you want. You'll get maximum marks if you do them correctly. Either way, in an exam, just spell it out and show what you're doing. And that's really it. That's how you do this. We'll do one more question just to consolidate, but there really is no more difficulty at all here. So 29% of 71, let's do it the regular traditional way. So that would be 29% is 29 out of 100 times 71. Now you could do all of that on a calculator immediately if you wanted. 29 divided by 100 times 71. Nothing to stop you doing that. I don't see the point of doing that part on a calculator and risking pressing divisions and multiplications and perhaps hitting the wrong thing. So I would just automatically do the conversion in my head. And then I'm just left with a nice straightforward question of, let's do 0.29 times 71. 0.29 times 71 equals 20.59, and that's it. We've finished it. Over on this side, using the multiplier method, we're simply missing out that first step. 29% is 0.29, so we're just missing out the fraction step, and we're writing it like that. That's how you find a percentage of an amount. It's as simple as that, and maybe simpler if that little trick works for you that I showed you at the beginning. So thank you for watching. What we're going to do in the next video, Percentages 3, is we're going to be looking at percentage change, such as what would happen if you knock 5% off a price or have a 10% increase on your salary and so on, things like that. Okay, building on what we've done today. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon on Maths is Not a Mystery.